Hi friends, welcome back to Pages and Grace. My name is Jess. I'm so glad you're here today. Today is August 1st, and in my mind that is really that change from summer into the start of the fall season. And it really gets me in the mood for some rereads. So today I want to talk about a few of the books that I have loved that give me that cozy feeling that I want to reread over the next few months. So I went through my shelves and I tried to pick out a few of the books that I would want to reread, for one, and two, I remember either some nostalgia when I was reading through them, or I just remember being very, very happy, cozy feeling as I was reading through the book. So I have 4 books that I've picked out. I have one that I definitely want to physically read, and I'll tell you more about why I want to physically read it. When I talk about it. It's actually the first one here, and it is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And now this is the illustrated edition that I have collected. My husband has been buying them for me for Christmas over the last few years, and I think it would be really fun to sit down and physically read this copy, to enjoy all of the different illustrations as you go. Harry Potter is one of those books that I grew up with. So I was actually in 5th grade when Harry Potter came out, and my 5th grade teacher read us the story bit by bit throughout the school year. And it screams back to school to me. The fall time. I can't wait. I'm excited. There's so much in here. I'm just looking through some of the pictures, some of the artwork, and I'm here for it. I'm ready. I think it was 2 years ago I started to reread, and I never completely finished all 7 of the books. I would have to say my favorite are the first 3. They're definitely cozier. They're more middle grade, where after that it gets a little bit more YA into some darker themes. But this first one especially, and actually, if you want to know my favorite, they're out there on that shelf. My favorite would be the 3rd, Prisoner of Azkaban. I am so excited to pick this one up. I think I'm going to start this one this month. This one's going to be the first one I read. The next one, let's go with the nostalgia. This is a book that I read over and over as a kid, and I reread it once as an adult, and I still loved it. And that one is Matilda by Roald Dahl. So I loved a lot of Roald Dahl's books growing up. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the Glass Elevator. Matilda, was one more. I did not read all of his books, but this is definitely one. This was my favorite out of all of them. Matilda, you have the fostering situation, the adoption situation. You have a girl reading and reading and reading anything she can get her hands on, reading. So I am so excited to pick this one up. I have read it as an adult once. It's a fast read, and so, but it really gives me that cozy feeling reading through it. So this is one that I want to pick up, hopefully after Harry Potter at some point. It's got a scratch. It says scratch and sniff cover. I wonder. It says smell me. Little bit old though. I've had this book for quite a while. This is not my original book that I read as a kid. I lost a lot of my children's books, like my books that I read in late elementary and middle school. A lot of them were destroyed in a basement flood years and years ago. So I've had to repurchase some of those as the years go on. All right, the next 2 are books that I've actually read. I think I read both of them last year, and I already want to reread them, so that's good. The first one, which one should I do first? Let's do this one. This one was actually, I think, my favorite book of the year last year. I did never sit down and make a decision on which one was my favorite. It was the first book I read of the year, and it was my favorite book of the year. This one, I remember we got the email I think I read it on audio because it took forever to get the book physically in hand. And we got the email at midnight on the 1st of January that we had the audiobook ready to go. And that was Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This book, oh, this cover is so beautiful. The green, I know on the light, with the light, it just kind of washes it out. But it is so beautiful. And the artwork inside of it. Oh. So in this book, we follow Tress. I just want to read you the first chapter. It is so, I found it very sweet. In his special projects, he talked about how he wrote them for his wife. But this one specifically, I just felt over and over that there were instances of places where you could see that it was just, and it's so funny. Let me read you the first chapter, the first paragraph, or a couple paragraphs here. They're very short. In the middle of the ocean, there was a girl who lived upon a rock. This was not an ocean like the one you might have imagined, nor was the rock like the one you have imagined. The girl, however, might be as you imagined, assuming you imagined her as thoughtful, soft-spoken, and overly fond of collecting cups. Men often describe the girl as having hair the color of wheat. Others called it the color of caramel, or occasionally the color of honey. The girl wondered why men so often used food to describe women's features. There was a hunger to such men that was best to be avoided. I don't know. You could tell he just had fun with it. It wasn't overly serious. So Tress is magical. It is, I don't know, it's just a fun story. So Tress ends up going on an adventure to try to save her love, Charlie. And I don't know, Sanderson's humor is just sprinkled throughout. I remember at the end, it just felt like a hug, a warm hug all the way through. And so that's why it's on my reread for the cozy reads over the next few months. So the last book I want to pick up on my reread series and my cozy rereads is Authentically, Izzy by Pepper Basham. So this book I read for the first time late summer, early fall. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So this book is, the things I loved about it were that it was in epistolary form. So it was letters and emails and texts and all the things back and forth. And the bookshops and just all of the bookish references throughout this book really gave me that cozy feeling as I was reading through it. The story between Izzy and, what was his name? Mr. Wright? Brody. That's right. Izzy and Brody. I loved the family dynamics in this book. So at first I didn't know, because it was starting out with online dating, and sometimes that's just not a thing that I like in books, but it worked out, and it was there for a reason. It had to be there for a reason. And so this book, I can't wait to pick it back up. I absolutely loved it. And I just finished Luke's story in May or June, and I really enjoyed it, but this one's the best out of the series, so I can't wait to pick that up. Anyways, those are the books that I'm going to be rereading over the next few months. Again, I'm going to start with Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter is probably the book that I have reread the most throughout my life. Absolutely a favorite. I would read it going back to school most years, and haven't in quite a while. So I think that's going to be first on my list. I saw a readathon that was Harry Potter themed. I will link it below if you haven't seen that yet, that I think would be really fun to participate in. I don't do a lot of readathons. With my schedule, I don't know. I like to look at the readathons after I've read and see what I've accomplished, but actually following readathons is really difficult, but I might try that one. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. This is how most videos really start. The button, finding something that he wants to watch, but I have easy access for those interruptions. So, hi friends. Did you say cheese?
Cheers.